Here's our first test. That's one. At first I thought it was a bad thing. Now look at this. This thing's, all of them are going in. In the last video, I finally did my dream thing, which is cutting a 16mm hole. You don't understand how exciting that is. It's time to now test a stock Mazda rotary engines. We're gonna drill 2 holes, and the most important part is to see if I got the distance right, got the thickness right, and all of that, because we're then gonna put 2 of these dowel pins into the holes and then put a stock Mazda piece that has no influence from me whatsoever straight down onto it. Once I have 2 holes, we can then do the rest of them. We're gonna drill 1 hole about right here, go down just shy over 12 inches, and then drill the second hole right here. I'm gonna have my hand right here. So we're just gonna go ahead and, oh God, I'm a little nervous. Okay, second tool. Please. Okay, so maybe we can go a little bit slower next time on the reamer. The chatter is coming from up there. Oh yeah, it vibrated. Yeah. I put these 2 in. Let's see the real deal. Sick. Boom. That is not going anywhere. Can't fake that. We're gonna keep improving our processes for making the holes consistently the same thickness, but as for distance, my measurements are exactly on the first time. Now that we know these 2, we can start preparing these housings, bolt this housing down, and then cut all of these holes that make this engine so sturdy. It's like Sword in the Stone, or Mjolnir, or whatever it is. Thor's hammer. I am worthy. You don't need this long of a reamer. They give you this, and it's yours to do whatever you want. We are not reaming a hole that deep. The deepest hole we're reaming is gonna be 3 inches, plus another 2 inches for the, it's literally 50mm for the whole tool holding. That's gonna be even stronger tool. We're gonna cut off the edge of this one, partially because it's a cheap Chinese version. I bought this months ago. I don't want, there's some damage done to the actual shank up here, and I don't want that affecting my holder. So we're gonna lop that off, get the correct length. The rest of it's fine. And then chuck this into the holder. It is finally time to cut a rotor housing. We're gonna use a trash one at first, swap this one out. We're gonna cut the 0.630 one and put that one in here. We need at least 3 inches of depth, so the tool can't go past that. And we need 2 inches for the tool to hold, so we need at least 5 inches. I'm gonna go to 6 inches just to give us some clearance in case we need to go past something. That cut much quicker than I was expecting. We're gonna take this little edge off right there. We're gonna get a nicer, cleaner cut. Make sure the surface is looking good. I made sure there's no burrs, there's no nothing that's sticking out. So we'll push it in, put this back in, right there. It gives us 4 1/8 inch depth. Yeah, I've worked with that before. Okay, just tight. Clean this off one more time. Here's our test housing. It is not from the 3-rotor because the 3-rotor had really poorly cut dowel holes. It's actually the holes already fucked. So these are all virgin holes, and we're gonna find a way to mount it off of the table because we need to cut through it. This isn't perfect, but we'll measure these and figure out the angle from there. And I have to be careful when I go to the next one. We have to pick it up high enough, even for the nut, just in case the machine goes a path that I accidentally programmed. We've got the thing off the ground now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna drill this hole, this hole, this hole, this hole, this hole, this hole, and this hole onto here, 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 and finally here. When the machine goes to the next one, it doesn't pick up a little bit and hit this. So I'm going to make sure that the machine picks up higher than probably this piece, whatever that is, 2 inches. So it'll be extreme. I'm going to figure out these two holes where they're at in 3D space, and then I have to do my calculations to then say, okay, where are these? So a little bit of math. I basically put both of the models to where this dowel is at the exact same spot, and then figured out where the two dowels were over here. Oh my god, okay. I don't care if I trash the housing, it's just tooling. Let's see what happens. The hole's nice. Now we're going to start on hole number 2. Okay, so here comes the last hole, and it should air her out, to be honest. Yeah. We survived. Let's take a look at this. It's like a confetti. It wasn't even getting close to breaking through those holes. They tell the same story. This is good news, is that I worked on my tooling a little bit better, and that tool, 5/8, does not fit in here anymore, even with it chattering a little bit. So I fixed that up considerably. So now we're gonna go back through with the reamer, see if these fit, and then see if it fits into the engine. Okay, through the hole. It's kind of sick. You can speed the feed rate up. That was it. Just check this out. That is super clean. Got some improvements to do, but look at that. You can't even clink it, but it's smooth. So each one of them kind of has like this half-inch start that's a little rough. You can't hit side to side. Yeah, this one has a little bit more slop because we were dealing with the wrong speed and feed rate. Straight through, and no slop. The hole size is one thing, but then see if it fits up with the motor. I'm gonna guess 0.6307. 0.6305. Wow. We hit within the range of Mazda's factory dowels, slightly above it, and first time doing that. We're within the range of the existing engine from the guys out in New Zealand was 0.6304 to 0.6308. So we hit 0.6305. Let's pull it out and compare it to the motor. Okay, we're doing this one long shot so you guys see which housing goes to what. Because even I don't want any fuckery on this. Here we go. Should have dusted that off, wasn't thinking. Okay. This one is the trash housing. We are going to take the simplest concept and dowel them together. Take a couple dowels. And so these we haven't modified, so this should work. No craziness to that. Those two are now locked into place. I feel like a magician. We're about to cut this lady in half. Here's our first test. That's one. These are the bolts that have to go through it. They're slightly smaller too. We're going to take these. That one's almost about to go. They're just slightly off. And I got some investigation to do, but they're also really, there's no room for error here. But yeah, see, like I already wedged it because that's how close they are. I'm creating a gap there, and that's actually going to make a difference. I'm actually going to turn this down like this. Oh, fuck. You see that that's solid. Dowel, dowel. That's doweled in. Not getting that one back out. Another one of these in this hole. So you can hear me hitting just the slightest bit of an edge. But you can also hear it, we're getting ready to almost go in. So yeah, you can hear them all catching an edge. For my first foray into precision, I'm gonna test something real quick. We're gonna use a rubber mallet and just see if any of these will go in. It's nice and soft. Use that information, because again, they all have to go back to these two. You can see how, look at that. That one needs more work, but it's working. I mean, you can see it'll work. Oh my God, it turned out, at first I thought it was a bad thing. Now look at this all of them are going in. Oh my God. Okay, well, you guys can see that right there. That, with the 2 dowels in first, all 7 bolts actually work. That one's probably the worst one, but I'm showing you guys the reality of it. My math allowed us to get that tight where they don't move inside the hole to begin with. We could actually use this housing in this motor. I did not expect that. When they hit that edge, I thought that was it. That's how you create a rotary engine. That's all trig and praying. Look at that. They're stuck together. Now we're gonna cut all of our engines to the exact same, so that way if we need to swap parts out for whatever reason, we got some secrets coming for that too. Every part works for every engine. We can just put these housings into the machine, and we've got a jail. That rotor's not getting out of that at all. I'm so excited. I can't even think of cool, witty things to say. This is sick. Here's the table. You know what this means? That to me means that the holes not only are tight in the right spot, but they're also not on an angle, because they all went straight through. So it's going to be a pain in the ass to take these two apart.